I'm so glad you found your way here. Your subconscious is filing memories right now while you rest, deciding what to keep, what to blend, and what to tuck away in secret places. Tonight, you'll discover why some dreamers wake refreshed after seeing their own sleeping mind, and understand how awareness during sleep might actually deepen rest itself. Welcome to Psychology for Sleep. Wherever you are right now, perhaps wondering about lost moments between waking and dreaming, or feeling memories of strange dreams drift just beyond reach. Allow yourself this exploration. We'll journey through 100 psychology facts about lucid dreaming science, from the moment your brain realizes it's asleep, to the neural pathways that light up when you control your dreams, to the surprising truth about why conscious dreamers might need more sleep. This thoughtful journey through consciousness builds bridges between searching minds. A soft subscribe, like, or sharing creates a pathway for more dream seekers to discover this sanctuary. One sleepy soul at a time. Your journey inspires ours. Let yourself settle completely here. Feel your jaw unclench, your breath deepen naturally. You can let these thoughts drift past without holding them. Sense that soothing heaviness enveloping you, like your consciousness slowly dimming its brightness. Thoughts dissolving into peaceful fog of approaching sleep. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. You're floating where memories rest safely in gentle darkness. Let your mind merge with infinite peace. And now we begin. Lucid dreaming happens when you know you're dreaming while still asleep. According to research published in 2024, about 55% of people experience at least one lucid dream in their lifetime. It's that strange moment when part of your mind wakes up inside the dream and whispers, "This isn't real. I'm asleep." Yet your body remains still, muscles relaxed in REM sleep. While your brain creates entire worlds, you can now explore consciously. Researchers at Stanford University first proved this was real in the 1980s by having lucid dreamers signal from inside their dreams using prearranged eye movements. Those eye movements showed up on monitoring equipment, confirming that someone could be both truly asleep and truly aware at the same time. Your brain, during a lucid dream, shows a distinctive pattern that's neither fully awake nor completely dreaming. A 2025 study published in the Journal of Neuroscience analyzed brain activity from 26 experienced lucid dreamers across multiple sleep laboratories. They found that certain brain regions show increased activity during lucid dreams compared to regular dreams. The prefrontal cortex, the area behind your forehead that handles planning and self-awareness when you're awake, partially reactivates during lucidity. This region normally stays quiet during sleep. During lucid dreams, it lights up again, creating that odd sensation of being two places at once, asleep in bed, but awake in your mind. Most lucid dreams happen during REM sleep, the stage where your most vivid dreams occur. REM happens in cycles throughout the night, getting longer as morning approaches. Your first REM period might last around 10 minutes, occurring about 90 minutes after you fall asleep. By the final cycle before waking, REM can extend for 30 to 60 minutes. This matters for lucid dreamers because longer REM periods provide more time for awareness to emerge within dreams. Recent research confirms that lucid dreams occur predominantly during these later, extended REM periods when brain activity already resembles waking consciousness more closely. Here's something unexpected. Lucid dreamers don't actually sleep less than other people. A 2020 study tracking dream diaries over 5 weeks found that sleep duration stayed the same whether someone had a lucid dream or a regular dream that night. People often worry that increased brain activity during lucid dreams might interfere with rest, but the data shows no reduction in total sleep time. While research on this specific question remains limited and ongoing, some observations hint that lucid dreamers may naturally tend towards slightly longer sleep periods, though scientists are still investigating whether this pattern holds true across larger studies. The feeling of being refreshed in the morning actually increases after nights with lucid dreams. This finding surprised researchers, since you might expect heightened brain activity to leave you tired. But a 2020 study, published in Clocks and Sleep, found that participants reported feeling more refreshed after lucid dreaming nights compared to regular dreaming nights, even when total sleep duration was statistically controlled. One possibility is that successfully achieving lucidity creates a sense of accomplishment that colors your perception of sleep quality. But the effect appeared even in control participants who weren't specifically trying to have lucid dreams, suggesting something deeper about the restorative quality of conscious awareness during sleep. About 23% of people are frequent lucid dreamers, experiencing lucidity at least once per month. A 2024 study of adolescent athletes and non-athletes found that 67% had experienced at least one lucid dream in their lives, with 30% lucid dreaming monthly and nearly 13% achieving lucidity at least weekly. Interestingly, lucid dreaming appears more common in younger people, particularly children and adolescents. This suggests a connection between lucid dreaming frequency and brain development processes. As we age, our brains may become less flexible in their sleep patterns, making spontaneous lucidity rarer, though the skill can still be learned and practiced at any age. The moment of becoming lucid shows up in brain scans as a burst of gamma waves. Gamma waves are the fastest brain waves, oscillating between 30 and 100 times per second. They're associated with heightened awareness, complex thinking, and moments of insight. During normal REM sleep, gamma activity stays relatively quiet. But research published in May 2025 found that when dreamers first realize they're dreaming, gamma waves increase noticeably, particularly in the precuneus, a region involved in self-awareness and visual imagery. It's almost like watching a gentle light appear inside the sleeping brain, marking the quiet instant consciousness recognizes its own dreaming state. Lucid dreams can be induced using smartphone apps. According to recent Northwestern University research from October 2024, participants using an app-based method called targeted lucidity reactivation averaged 2.11 lucid dreams per week, up from 0.74 before training. The technique combines pre-sleep training with sound cues played during the night. When you hear the cue during REM sleep, it can trigger the memory of reality checking, helping you realize you're dreaming. The success rate isn't perfect. Only about 17% of participants had lucid dreams on their first night using the method, but this nearly triples spontaneous lucidity rates, making it one of the most effective, accessible techniques discovered so far. Your eyes move during lucid dreams just like they do in regular dreams, but you can control them consciously. This is how scientists first proved lucid dreaming was real, because the muscles controlling eye movement aren't paralyzed during REM sleep like the rest of your body. Lucid dreamers can signal to researchers by moving their eyes in agreed-upon patterns. Left, right, left, right. For example, these signals show up clearly on electro-oculography recordings. It creates an extraordinary communication channel from the sleeping world to the waking one, allowing researchers to timestamp exactly when lucidity begins and ends, making lucid dreaming one of the only subjective experiences that can be objectively verified in real time. So yes, lucid dreaming is already changing our understanding of consciousness by showing that awareness exists on a spectrum, not as a simple on-off switch. You're not just awake or asleep. There are in-between states where different parts of your mind operate at different levels simultaneously. During lucid dreams, your sensory cortex creates vivid hallucinations. Your motor cortex stays relaxed, and areas involved in self-awareness partially reactivate to observe it all happening. This reveals something profound. Consciousness isn't a single thing your brain does, but a collection of processes that can be mixed and recombined in ways we're only beginning to map. Acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter, plays a central role in making dreams vivid and detailed. During REM sleep, acetylcholine levels increase considerably, while other neurotransmitters like serotonin and norepinephrine drop to near zero. This chemical shift allows your brain's sensory areas to fire actively, creating dreamscapes that feel incredibly real. Research suggests that even higher acetylcholine activity might contribute to lucid dreaming. Some lucid dreamers experiment with galantamine, a prescription medication typically used for Alzheimer's disease that happens to prevent acetylcholine breakdown. A 2018 study found it increased lucid dream frequency compared to placebo. Though this use is off-label and should only be considered under medical guidance, sleep duration doesn't differ between lucid and non-lucid nights, though sleep architecture might shift subtly. While total hours remain constant, REM periods may extend slightly during nights with lucid dreams. Though this finding remains under investigation, it's possible that the brain naturally allows more REM time when conditions favor lucidity, or that lucid dreamers subconsciously adjust their sleep schedules to maximize late-morning REM periods. Either way, the body seems to self-regulate, ensuring you get the rest you need regardless of whether consciousness flickers on during your dreams. Nightmares complicate the relationship between lucid dreaming and sleep quality. A 2024 study published in Behavioral Sleep Medicine found that when researchers accounted for nightmare frequency, the apparent negative effects of lucid dreaming on sleep quality disappeared entirely. Nightmares alone explained the poor sleep associations, not lucidity itself. This makes sense. People who experience frequent nightmares often develop lucid dreaming skills specifically to combat distressing dreams. The nightmares came first, reducing sleep quality. Lucid dreaming emerged as a coping mechanism. Without nightmares, lucid dreaming shows neutral or even slightly positive effects on how rested people feel. About 49% of preteens recall dreams several times per week. According to a 2024 study of over 1,100 children, the research, published in the Journal of Sleep Research, examined dream habits in 11-year-olds and found robust dream recall correlating with certain sleep patterns. Higher dream recall connected with more nocturnal awakenings and the feeling of being woken up from sleep. Interestingly, lucid dream frequency in this age group showed no significant correlation with sleep efficiency, meaning children could experience frequent lucid dreams without measurable sleep disruption. Young brains appear particularly flexible in maintaining sleep quality while experiencing heightened dream awareness. Areas involved in reflective thought act like switches for lucidity. Normally, during REM sleep, regions that handle critical thinking stay relatively inactive, which explains why dreams feel so illogical and we accept bizarre situations without question. Your analytical centers are offline, but during lucid dreams, fMRI scans show these areas lighting up again. A landmark 2012 study found increased activation in regions crucial for working memory and self-monitoring. This partial reactivation allows you to think critically about your experience, realize inconsistencies in the dream logic, and recognize that you must be asleep. It's like turning on a small lamp in a dark room. Not full daylight, but enough to see what's happening around you. Lucid dreams tend to feel brighter and more vivid than regular dreams. Many lucid dreamers report that colors appear richer and details become clearer the moment they become aware. Researchers at the University of Heidelberg found this isn't just subjective perception. Brain imaging shows increased activity in visual processing areas during lucid versus non-lucid REM sleep. These regions handle fine visual details and color processing. When awareness increases during a dream, it may enhance visual processing circuits, creating that characteristic hyperrealism lucid dreamers describe. The dream world becomes almost more vivid than waking reality. You can learn to lucid dream through practice, though some people pick it up more easily than others. The most effective techniques combine several approaches. Reality testing during the day, where you regularly check if you're dreaming. Wake back to bed methods that involve waking after several hours of sleep, then returning to bed. And mnemonic induction, where you repeatedly tell yourself you'll recognize your dreams. A 2012 review of lucid dream induction studies found that cognitive techniques significantly outperform random chance or passive methods. With consistent practice over weeks or months, many people can shift from never experiencing lucid dreams to having them several times per month. The precuneus, a region deep in your parietal lobe, shows particularly strong activation during lucid dreams. This area processes self-referential thinking, first-person perspective, and the sense of agency, the feeling that you're the one controlling your actions. A 2012 combined EEG and fMRI case study found the precuneus was among the most activated regions during verified lucid REM sleep. This makes sense. Lucid dreaming requires recognizing yourself as the dreamer, maintaining your sense of identity within the dream, and often controlling dream events through conscious intention. These processes rely on networks involved in self-awareness. Meditation practice correlates with increased lucid dreaming frequency. A 2024 study published in Brain Sciences found that frequent lucid dreamers show higher scores on mindfulness measures and more often practice meditation regularly. The link makes sense when you consider that both meditation and lucid dreaming involve metacognition, the ability to observe your own mental processes. Meditation trains you to watch your thoughts without getting swept away by them. This same skill helps in dreams, noticing the dream content without losing yourself in it, creating enough distance to recognize, I'm watching this dream happen, which is the essence of lucidity. The brain's connectivity pattern changes considerably during lucid dreams. A May 2025 study using advanced EEG analysis found increased alpha wave connectivity across various brain regions during lucid dreaming. with activity centered in areas involved in language and memory processing. Alpha waves, oscillating 8 to 12 times per second, typically appear during relaxed wakefulness. Their presence during REM sleep, especially connecting far apart brain areas, suggests lucid dreaming creates a distinctive neural state. Different parts of your brain, which normally operate semi-independently during dreams, start communicating more like they do when you're awake. This enhanced connectivity allows for the metacognitive awareness that defines lucidity. Beta waves decrease in specific brain regions during lucid dreams, particularly in the right temporoparietal junction. Beta waves, ranging from 12 to 30 Hz, associate with active thinking and focused attention during wakefulness. The 2025 Journal of Neuroscience study found significant beta power reductions in right central and parietal areas during lucidity. This seems paradoxical at first. Shouldn't more awareness mean more beta activity? But researchers suggest this reduction might reflect a shift from the scattered attention of normal dreaming to a more focused, observational awareness. You're not actively problem-solving or analyzing. You're calmly recognizing the dream state, which requires a different pattern of brain activity. Lucid dreaming provides an unusual window into studying consciousness itself. Unlike most altered states, lucid dreaming can be verified objectively through eye movement signals and investigated with brain imaging. Philosophers and neuroscientists have long debated what consciousness is and where it comes from. Lucid dreaming offers a natural experiment. Same brain, same person, but two different states of awareness that can be directly compared. Research from 2024 suggests that studying lucid dreams may help clarify mechanisms of self-awareness, not just during sleep, but also during waking life, in mental health conditions, and in other altered states of consciousness, like those induced by psychedelics or deep meditation. The stability of lucid dreams varies widely between dreamers. A 2025 study tracking lucid dream frequency over 7 years found that while lucid dream frequency itself remained relatively stable for most people, the skills within lucid dreams, such as dream control and stability, fluctuated more. Beginners often experience brief flashes of lucidity that fade within seconds. Experienced lucid dreamers can maintain awareness for extended periods, sometimes throughout an entire REM cycle. This stability seems to improve with practice and dedication. People who actively work on their lucid dreaming skills through reality testing and dream journaling report longer, more stable lucid dreams compared to those who experience spontaneous lucidity without practice. Sleep quality research shows mixed results when nightmares are removed from the equation. Cross-sectional studies initially found negative relationships between sleep quality and lucid dreaming frequency. But deeper analysis revealed nightmare frequency explained these associations. The 2020 diary study found no negative effect of lucid dreaming on feeling refreshed, and actually found a slight positive effect. Meanwhile, the 2024 behavioral sleep medicine study confirmed nightmares, not lucidity, predict poor sleep quality and anxiety. For people without frequent nightmares, lucid dreaming appears to be sleep neutral, or possibly even restorative. Though more research with larger samples is needed to fully understand this relationship, these observations reveal that lucid dreaming exists on a spectrum of consciousness, showing us that sleep isn't simply the absence of awareness. Instead, sleep contains multiple states where different types of awareness can emerge, interact, and transform. Some researchers now view lucid dreaming as evidence that consciousness isn't a single light switch, but more like a dimmer with infinite gradations. You can be somewhat aware, deeply aware, aware of being aware. The sleeping brain demonstrates considerable flexibility in how it constructs experience. And lucid dreaming sits at a fascinating intersection where the vivid hallucinations of REM sleep meet the reflective observation of waking consciousness, creating something entirely distinctive. Let's pause here and notice your body. As you breathe out slowly, appreciate each tiny cell inside. Trillions of organisms working in silence. Heart beating, lungs breathing, brain thinking, all without your command. Notice the gentle sensations on your skin, in your muscles, along your spine. You are a complete ecosystem, diverse, self-balancing. Now we continue. REM sleep density increases during lucid dreams, meaning your eyes move more rapidly. EEG studies show that lucid dreamers experience heightened REM density, a marker of more active dream processing. Your eyes dart back and forth more frequently during lucid REM compared to regular REM. This makes sense when you consider that eye movements during dreams correspond to where you're looking in the dream world. Research confirms dreamers actually gaze at dream objects, their physical eyes tracking imagined movement. During lucid dreams, you're more actively exploring the dream environment, looking around deliberately rather than passively watching scenes unfold, which translates to increased eye movement activity. The temporoparietal junction shows altered activity during lucid dreams. This brain region, where the temporal and parietal lobes meet, integrates sensory information and contributes to self-other distinction, the awareness of where your body ends and the world begins. During lucid dreams, the temporoparietal junction activates differently than in regular REM sleep. Some research suggests this helps maintain the sense of self within the dream, allowing you to recognize, "I am the one dreaming this," rather than simply experiencing the dream without awareness of your identity. This self-recognition appears essential for initiating and maintaining lucidity. Dream control varies independently from dream awareness. You can know you're dreaming without being able to change anything, or you might influence dream events without fully realizing you're asleep. A 2025 study on lucid dreaming skills found that the two abilities don't always develop together. Some people excel at recognizing dreams, but struggle to manipulate them. Others naturally influence dream content, but rarely achieve full metacognitive awareness. This suggests different neural mechanisms support recognition versus control. Awareness might rely more on certain thinking centers reactivating, while control could involve motor planning areas engaging during REM sleep. External cues during REM sleep can sometimes trigger lucidity. Research from Heidelberg University tested flashing lights and vibrations during REM sleep. Success rates were low. Just one lucid dream from 18 light trials, and 2 from 27 vibration trials. But the fact that it worked at all proves an important principle. The sleeping brain can detect external signals, incorporate them into dreams, and use them as prompts to recognize the dream state. Some wearable devices now use this concept, playing sounds or vibrations during detected REM periods. When you encounter these cues in your dream, like hearing a familiar sound or feeling a vibration, it can remind you to reality check and potentially trigger lucidity. The effectiveness of lucid dream induction varies considerably between individuals. While some people naturally lucid dream frequently, others struggle despite months of practice. Research suggests this variability might relate to baseline differences in brain structure and function. A 2018 study found that frequent lucid dreamers showed different connectivity patterns in certain brain networks, even during wakefulness, particularly involving areas that bridge the gap between sleep and wake states. This doesn't mean non-lucid dreamers can't learn the skill, but it suggests some neurological factors might make lucidity more accessible for certain people. Just as some individuals naturally remember more dreams or have more vivid imagery, lucid dream therapy shows promise for treating nightmares, particularly in specific populations. A 2024 study from Northwestern Medicine demonstrated that combining lucid dreaming techniques with cognitive behavioral therapy for nightmares reduced nightmare severity and frequency in 6 narcolepsy patients. Participants imagined alternative dream scenarios, essentially writing new scripts for their recurring nightmares. This represents the first evidence that nightmare therapy might help with narcolepsy-related nightmares. For trauma survivors and people with PTSD who experience frequent nightmares, learning to recognize and redirect distressing dreams offers a meaningful tool that doesn't require medication, though it works best as part of comprehensive treatment. The gamma increase at the moment of lucidity appears to be a consistent marker. The May 2025 Journal of Neuroscience study found gamma frequency activity in the 30 to 36 Hz range, concentrating in the precuneus exactly when dreamers first signaled awareness. This gamma burst captures the brain's moment of lucid insight. Interestingly, these gamma increases began appearing just before the eye movement signal, suggesting the brain prepares for lucidity milliseconds before the dreamer consciously communicates it. The timing reveals that neural changes associated with awareness emerge from unconscious processing before bubbling up into conscious recognition, showing how awareness itself has pre-conscious foundations. Sleep patterns in habitual lucid dreamers might show subtle long-term differences, while individual nights with lucid dreams don't reduce total sleep time. Current observations suggest that people who lucid dream frequently might naturally gravitate towards sleep schedules that maximize late-morning REM periods. This could mean sleeping slightly longer on average, going to bed earlier, or waking later. However, these patterns haven't been conclusively established in large-scale studies yet. The 2025 7-year longitudinal study found that people who actively practiced lucid dreaming reported higher frequencies overall, suggesting that time and attention devoted to the practice does influence how often it occurs. Different content during lucid dreams probably involves different neural networks. Just like in waking life, where thinking about different topics activates different brain areas. The specific things you do within a lucid dream likely recruit distinct neural networks. A recent 2025 study on dream content and memory showed that brain activity during REM sleep carried information about what audiobook participants had studied before sleep. Beta range brain activity during REM correlated with better memory performance. This suggests that the content of dreams, whether lucid or not, engages real neural processing that can be detected and might serve actual functions like memory consolidation. Lucid dreaming creates opportunities for mental rehearsal that might improve real-world skills. Because the brain's motor and visual areas activate during dreams, practicing skills in lucid dreams could strengthen neural pathways. Athletes have reported using lucid dreams to rehearse techniques. Musicians practice difficult passages, Research published in 2023 as a medical hypothesis suggested that extending mental practice into sleep through lucid dreaming could enhance motor learning. While this remains largely theoretical and needs rigorous testing, the principle is sound. The brain regions responsible for movement become active during dream movement, creating potential for learning even while asleep. The relationship between lucid dreaming and depression shows complexity. The 2024 behavioral sleep medicine study found that while nightmares alone predicted poor sleep quality and anxiety, both nightmares and the combination of nightmares with lucid dreaming predicted depressive symptoms. This doesn't mean lucid dreaming causes depression. More likely, people experiencing depression may have both nightmares and attempts at lucid dreaming as they seek relief. The direction of causation remains unclear. For some people, particularly those learning lucid dreaming as nightmare therapy, it reduces distress. For others, particularly if accompanied by poor sleep quality, it correlates with lower mood. Cholinergic neurotransmission appears central to both REM sleep and lucidity. Acetylcholine regulates REM sleep cycles and contributes to dream vividness. Research published in 2024 reviewing neuropsychopharmacological induction methods highlighted how substances that increase acetylcholine availability or prevent its breakdown show the most promise for inducing lucid dreams. Galantamine, an acetylcholinesterase inhibitor that prevents acetylcholine breakdown, has shown significant effects in controlled studies. Vitamin B6, which plays a role in serotonin synthesis, has also been investigated, though with more mixed results. The pharmacological approaches underscore how delicate neurotransmitter balances shape our dream experiences. Memory consolidation continues during lucid REM sleep. Some worry that conscious awareness during dreams might interfere with the memory processing that normally happens during REM. However, current evidence doesn't support this concern. The brain continues its regular housekeeping activities even during lucid dreams. The 2025 study on pre-sleep experiences and dream content showed that information learned before sleep gets reprocessed during REM sleep, with brain activity patterns reflecting the learned content. Global beta power during REM correlated with better memory retention. This suggests that even when you're aware during REM, the background processes of memory consolidation continue operating. Individual differences in lucid dreaming ability appear relatively stable over time. The 7-year longitudinal study from 2025 found that lucid dream frequency remained fairly consistent for most individuals across the years. If you naturally lucid dream frequently, you likely will continue to do so. If you rarely experience lucidity, that pattern tends to persist without active intervention. However, the study also showed that people who dedicated time and effort to lucid dreaming techniques reported higher frequencies. This indicates that while there may be a baseline trait component to lucid dreaming, learned skills and deliberate practice can shift your personal baseline upward over time. This evidence suggests that lucid dreaming engages sleep in a distinctive way, neither disrupting its core functions nor operating entirely separately from them. The brain maintains sleep's essential processes while adding a layer of metacognitive awareness that transforms the dream experience. Sleep researchers increasingly view lucid dreaming not as an abnormality, but as a naturally occurring variation within the spectrum of REM sleep states. Understanding this helps explain why lucid dreamers don't show sleep deficits. The fundamental architecture of sleep remains intact, with awareness appearing as an additional feature rather than a replacement for normal sleep functions. You're still here with me. Thoughts still flickering like candle light. Just notice. Don't judge. Just notice where your mind is. We're exploring consciousness itself. The very thing doing the exploring right now. Strange, beautiful, and perfectly calm. Let's drift onward together. REM cycles lengthen naturally as the night progresses, which matters deeply for lucid dreamers. Your first REM period might last only 5 to 10 minutes. By your fourth or fifth cycle, in the early morning hours, REM can extend 30 to 60 minutes or longer. This creates a perfect environment for lucidity to develop and stabilize. Brief REM periods barely give awareness time to flicker before the cycle ends. But long REM periods allow consciousness to settle into the dream, explore, and potentially maintain lucidity for extended periods. This is why many lucid dreamers report their most successful experiences happening in the early morning, and why they might benefit from sleeping slightly longer. The brain doesn't fully wake up during lucid dreams despite heightened awareness, while certain thinking areas show increased activity. Overall brain states remain characteristic of REM sleep. Delta waves, theta rhythms, and rapid eye movements continue. Muscle relaxation persists, preventing you from physically acting out dreams. The 2025 EEG studies confirmed that basic brain patterns during lucid dreaming resemble REM sleep more than wakefulness. In statistical analyses, it's only when researchers examined activity in specific brain regions that the distinctive signatures of lucidity emerged. This explains how you can be aware without actually waking up. The awareness operates within the context of sleep, not as an interruption of it. The relationship between sleep spindles and lucid dreaming remains under investigation. Sleep spindles are brief bursts of brain activity in the 12 to 15 Hz range that occur during non-REM sleep. They play important roles in memory, consolidation, and protecting sleep from disruption. Some theories suggest that increased spindle activity might correlate with greater dream awareness and recall, though definitive research specifically linking spindles to lucid dreaming frequency is still emerging. What is clear is that various sleep microstructures, brief patterns of electrical activity lasting just seconds, influence the texture and quality of our sleep experience in ways we're only beginning to map. Lucid dreamers may need longer or later REM periods to fully develop awareness. While they don't necessarily sleep more hours overall, the distribution of their sleep might shift subtly to maximize the lengthy REM cycles that occur in later sleep. This isn't necessarily conscious. Your brain might naturally regulate toward schedules that favor extended morning REM if you regularly experience or practice lucid dreaming. Current observations suggest this pattern, though it hasn't been conclusively proven yet. Clinical observations and dream reports indicate that lucid dreamers often describe their most vivid experiences happening in what they perceive as the final hours before waking, when REM naturally dominates sleep architecture. The phenomenon of false awakenings often occurs near lucid dreams. You wake up in your dream, getting out of bed, perhaps starting your morning routine, only to realize you're still asleep. This can trigger lucidity or occur as a result of unstable lucidity. False awakenings reveal how convincingly your brain can simulate waking experiences during REM sleep. They also show how easily awareness can flicker at the boundaries between sleep stages. Many experienced lucid dreamers use false awakenings as lucidity triggers, performing reality checks anytime they wake up, knowing it might be a dream. These strange borderline experiences highlight the fluid nature of state boundaries in consciousness. Theta wave activity, oscillating 4 to 8 times per second, shows interesting patterns in lucid versus non-lucid REM. Some research found theta power reductions in posterior brain regions during lucid dreaming. Theta waves associate with emotional processing, memory encoding, and the internally focused awareness of mind wandering. Their reduction during lucidity might reflect a shift from passive emotional experiencing toward active metacognitive observation. Instead of being carried along by dream emotions and narratives, you're observing them with some detachment. This could explain why lucid dreams often feel less emotionally intense than nightmares, even when the dream content would normally be disturbing. The length of stable lucidity correlates with experience and practice. Beginners might maintain awareness for just a few seconds before either waking up or losing lucidity and returning to regular dreaming. Intermediate lucid dreamers might hold awareness for several minutes. Advanced practitioners report maintaining lucidity throughout entire REM cycles, potentially 20 to 30 minutes or more. This progression suggests that lucid dreaming involves learnable skills. Your brain gradually adapts to maintaining the delicate balance between enough activation for awareness, but not so much that it triggers full awakening. Like learning any complex skill, it improves with practice and repetition over time. The brain's ability to reorganize itself likely plays a role in developing lucid dreaming abilities. The 2018 study finding different brain connectivity patterns in frequent lucid dreamers suggests that regular lucid dreaming might actually reshape neural networks. This wouldn't happen overnight, but could develop gradually through repeated experiences. Every time you achieve lucidity, you're strengthening the pathways that allow thinking centers to activate during REM sleep. Over months and years, these accumulated experiences might permanently alter how easily your brain can shift into lucid states. Similar to how meditation practice can produce lasting changes in brain structure and function, the precuneus region deserves special attention for its role in lucidity. Located in the posterior medial parietal cortex, the precuneus activates during self-referential thinking, autobiographical memory retrieval, and first-person perspective experiences. Its notable activation during lucid dreams, particularly the gamma increase when lucidity begins, marks it as possibly the most critical hub for dream awareness. Damage to this region impairs self-awareness and sense of agency. Its reactivation during REM sleep might be what allows you to maintain your sense of self within the dream, to remember who you are, where you really are, and what you're experiencing, creating the foundation for recognizing, "I'm dreaming." Halfway through our journey, the answer is emerging about why lucid dreamers might sleep longer. It's not that lucid dreaming requires more sleep. Rather, the conditions that favor lucid dreaming, lengthy late-stage REM cycles, naturally occur when sleep extends into morning hours. The brain creates longer REM periods as sleep progresses. Lucid dreamers may instinctively allow themselves to sleep until these extended cycles complete rather than cutting sleep short. Additionally, the brain might need time to stabilize the delicate neural state that supports lucidity without triggering full awakening. More sleep doesn't cause lucid dreaming, but lucid dreaming naturally flourishes during the generous REM periods that occur when we give ourselves permission to sleep fully. Let each breath guide you to realize, time is yours, a separate stream that only you are living. While the vast universe continues to spin, expand, change, this second This second you're breathing, listening, is yours alone. Cherish the present moment, knowing that right now, your time is singular in the universe. And we continue drifting. Understanding lucid dreaming changes how we think about consciousness itself. We typically imagine consciousness as binary, either on or off, awake or asleep. But lucid dreaming reveals consciousness as layered, multidimensional, capable of partial activation. Different brain systems can operate at different levels of awareness simultaneously. Your visual cortex hallucinates vividly. Your motor cortex remains relaxed. Your emotional centers process dream narratives. And areas involved in self-awareness partially reactivate to observe it all. This complex orchestration shows that consciousness isn't a single function, but an emergent property of many specialized systems working together or apart. The therapeutic potential of lucid dreaming extends beyond nightmare treatment. Researchers are exploring applications for anxiety, depression, PTSD, and even physical rehabilitation. The idea rests on lucid dreams, providing a safe space to confront fears, practice new behaviors, process trauma, or rehearse movements. A 2023 systematic review of lucid dream therapy for nightmares found promising results. Though studies remain small, the combination of vividness, controllability, and the protective knowledge that this is just a dream creates opportunities for exposure therapy and skill development that aren't easily replicated in other contexts. Cultural attitudes toward lucid dreaming vary widely. Some spiritual traditions view lucid dreaming as a path to enlightenment or higher consciousness. Tibetan dream yoga practices, dating back centuries, explicitly cultivate lucid dreaming as a meditation practice. Western science approached it with skepticism until eye-signaling experiments provided objective proof. Modern interest has grown with better understanding of the neuroscience involved. This demonstrates how scientific and traditional knowledge can converge, each bringing different perspectives to the same phenomenon. Ancient practitioners may have intuitively understood what modern neuroscience now measures: that awareness during sleep reveals fundamental truths about the nature of mind. The feeling of control within lucid dreams varies considerably. Some dreamers report abilities to transform environments, fly, create objects from nothing, or alter the fundamental rules of dream physics. Others find that despite recognizing their dreaming, the dream narrative continues unfolding, mostly outside their control. They're aware observers more than creators. Research suggests this variability relates partly to experience level and partly to individual differences in dream control abilities. Some people naturally exert more influence over dream content, while others find dreams surprisingly resistant to conscious manipulation even when they know they're dreaming. The relationship between waking mindfulness and lucid dreaming continues to intrigue researchers. The 2024 Brain Sciences study found strong associations between meditation practice styles, meta-awareness, trait mindfulness, and frequent lucid dreaming. Mindfulness meditation trains you to notice mental processes without becoming identified with them. This mirrors the metacognitive awareness of lucid dreaming, recognizing mental content as mental content rather than objective reality. People who meditate regularly may develop skills that naturally transfer into sleep, making it easier to maintain the observational distance that allows lucidity to arise. Both practices cultivate the same fundamental capacity for witnessing consciousness. Sleep disorders can interact with lucid dreaming in complex ways. The Northwestern Medicine study, showing effectiveness for narcolepsy-related nightmares, opens interesting questions. Narcolepsy involves disrupted boundaries between sleep states, with REM sleep sometimes intruding into wakefulness. The already blurred boundaries might make lucid dreaming more accessible for some narcolepsy patients, though this requires more research. For sleep apnea, where breathing interruptions fragment sleep, achieving the stable REM periods that favor lucidity might be more difficult. Different sleep conditions create different environments where lucid dreaming either flourishes or struggles to develop. The beta power reductions observed in the 2025 Journal of Neuroscience study suggest something subtle about attention during lucid dreams. Beta waves associate with active, focused thinking during wakefulness. Their decrease in certain regions during lucidity might indicate that lucid dream awareness operates differently from waking attention. Rather than actively analyzing or problem-solving, lucid awareness might involve a more receptive, witnessing quality. You're not effortfully thinking about the dream. You're simply aware that it's happening. This relaxed metacognition might explain why overly analytical attitudes sometimes destabilize lucidity, causing you to wake up. Dream content during lucid dreams often reflects pre-sleep learning and daytime experiences. The 2025 study on pre-sleep experiences and neural reactivation showed that audiobook content studied before sleep was reprocessed during REM, appearing in dream reports. This reprocessing probably continues during lucid REM. Your lucid dreams aren't disconnected from memory consolidation. They're part of the same process. The brain weaves recent experiences into dream narratives. Whether you're aware of dreaming or not, this integration helps explain why some lucid dreamers report dreams that seem to offer insights into problems they'd been thinking about before sleep. The unconscious processing continues, now with awareness observing it. Alpha wave connectivity increases during lucid dreams, creating stronger communication between brain regions. The May 2025 research found enhanced connections spreading across the cortex. Alpha waves typically characterize relaxed wakefulness, like when you close your eyes and meditate. Their appearance during REM sleep, especially in this interconnected pattern, suggests that lucid dreaming truly represents a hybrid state, combining elements of both sleep and wakefulness. This increased connectivity allows different parts of your brain to share information more freely, enabling the integrated awareness that recognizes, I am in a dream created by my own mind. The question of whether lucid dreams feel more or less real than normal dreams yields varied answers. Many lucid dreamers report heightened realism, sharper details, richer colors, more vivid sensations. The brain imaging showing increased visual cortex activation supports this subjective experience. However, some report that lucidity creates a certain quality of observation, a sense that the dream becomes less organic or spontaneous once you're consciously aware. The dream might feel more like a simulation you're operating rather than an immersive experience you're living. Both experiences are genuine and may reflect different levels of awareness and different individual approaches to lucidity. Spontaneous lucid dreams feel qualitatively different from induced ones for many people. Spontaneous lucidity often arrives as a surprise, perhaps triggered by a bizarre dream element that jolts awareness awake. Induced lucidity, achieved through deliberate practice and techniques, might feel more controlled, but potentially less magical. Some practitioners describe a balance between reliability and wonder. The more systematically you approach lucid dreaming as a practice, the more reliably you achieve it, but perhaps at the cost of some of the spontaneous awe that comes from unexpectedly recognizing your dreaming. Both paths have value depending on your goals and temperament. The social dimension of lucid dreaming creates interesting community dynamics. Online forums, apps, research studies, and lucid dreaming groups allow people to share techniques, compare experiences, and encourage each other's practice. This social support might enhance frequency and stability through several mechanisms. Regular reminders, increased daytime awareness. Shared tips improve technique, and community belonging strengthens motivation. The Northwestern University app study utilized this principle, putting participants in WhatsApp groups to send reality check reminders throughout the day. Social reinforcement transforms lucid dreaming from a solitary oddity into a shared practice with collective wisdom and mutual support. Questions emerge around lucid dream induction and potential applications. If lucid dreaming can be reliably induced and controlled, what are the implications? Some wonder about escapism, people preferring dream worlds to waking life. Others see therapeutic potential for trauma processing and skill development. Questions arise about research ethics when studying vulnerable populations, about commercial exploitation through expensive devices or courses, and about informed consent when teaching techniques that might unexpectedly surface difficult psychological material. As with any meaningful psychological tool, lucid dreaming requires thoughtful consideration of benefits, risks, and appropriate applications. The electromagnetic patterns during lucid dreaming reveal complexity that simple descriptions can't capture. Early research sought single markers, a specific frequency or brain region that distinctly signified lucidity, but the 2025 studies, using advanced pre-processing and multi-laboratory data, show that lucid dreaming involves distributed changes across multiple frequencies and regions. There's no single lucid dreaming signature, but rather a constellation of changes. Gamma bursts here, alpha connectivity there, beta reductions elsewhere, all occurring against a background of ongoing REM sleep. This complexity reflects the fundamental nature of consciousness as an emergent property of vast neural networks rather than a simple switch. We now understand that lucid dreaming doesn't interrupt sleep's restorative functions. And this understanding helps explain why lucid dreamers might naturally gravitate toward fuller rest. The initial concerns that heightened brain activity might reduce sleep quality haven't been supported by careful research. The 2020 diary study showed increased feelings of being refreshed after lucid dreams. The 2024 studies confirmed that nightmare frequency, not lucidity itself, predicts poor sleep outcomes. Your brain continues its essential maintenance work, clearing metabolic waste, consolidating memories, regulating emotions, even as awareness flickers on to observe the dream. The restorative processes operate largely outside conscious awareness, in the automated biochemical and electrical rhythms that don't require your attention to function effectively. Lucid dreaming frequency appears to follow a developmental arc across the lifespan. Children and adolescents experience more frequent lucid dreams. As shown in the 2024 study, finding 67% of adolescents had lucid dreamed at least once. Frequency often peaks in late adolescence or early adulthood, then gradually declines with age. This pattern mirrors broader changes in sleep architecture and brain plasticity across development. Young brains show more flexible sleep patterns and stronger REM rebound, potentially creating more opportunities for spontaneous lucidity. As we age and sleep becomes lighter and more fragmented, the stable REM periods that favor lucidity may become rarer, though practiced techniques can counteract this decline. The intersection of lucid dreaming with psychedelic research reveals intriguing parallels. Both involve altered states characterized by metacognitive awareness, enhanced visual experiences, and encounters with novel perspectives on consciousness. Some researchers study whether insights from psychedelic states can inform understanding of lucid dreams, and vice versa. Both phenomena show increased connectivity between brain regions that don't normally communicate strongly. The 2025 review noted that alpha connectivity changes during lucid dreaming resemble patterns seen in psychedelic states. This doesn't mean they're the same, but suggests they might access similar neural mechanisms for expanding conscious awareness beyond everyday parameters. Individual dream journals, kept over years, provide rich data about lucid dreaming patterns. Long-term dream series analysis reveals how frequency fluctuates with life circumstances, practice intensity, stress levels, and sleep quality. A 2024 book analyzing a long dream series showed that even within a single individual, lucid dream characteristics vary tremendously over time. Some periods show high frequency and control. Others show sparse, unstable lucidity. These fluctuations remind us that lucid dreaming isn't a permanent skill once acquired, but a dynamic capacity influenced by ongoing psychological, neurological, and environmental factors. Consistency requires sustained practice and attention. The role of expectations and beliefs in facilitating lucid dreams shouldn't be underestimated. The Northwestern Studies control group receiving dummy sound cues had lower lucidity rates than those receiving real cues. But interestingly, 5% still reported lucid dreams even with placebo treatment. This suggests that simply believing you're using a lucid dream induction method can slightly increase frequency through mechanisms like heightened dream awareness, more frequent reality checking, and stronger intention setting. Expectancy effects are real and meaningful in consciousness research. Your mental state heading into sleep genuinely influences what happens during sleep, independent of any specific technique or technology employed. Dream recall is a foundation for lucid dreaming that often gets overlooked. You can't work with dreams you don't remember. The 2024 study of preteens found nearly 50% recalled dreams multiple times weekly. But recall varied with sleep patterns, attitudes toward dreams, and nocturnal awakenings. Improving dream recall through keeping a dream journal, setting intention before sleep, and waking naturally rather than with alarms provides the foundation for lucidity practice. As recall improves and you become more familiar with your personal dream patterns and themes, you're better positioned to recognize when you're dreaming. Lucidity often emerges from deep familiarity with your own dreaming mind. The practical applications of lucid dreaming continue expanding as research develops. Beyond nightmare therapy and skill practice, people use lucid dreams for creativity, generating novel ideas and artistic inspirations. Some report problem-solving insights emerging from lucid dream scenarios. Others use lucidity for personal growth, confronting fears or exploring aspects of psyche not easily accessible during waking consciousness. Spiritual practitioners incorporate it into meditation practice. Scientists use it to study consciousness. This versatility makes lucid dreaming fascinating. It serves different purposes for different people while revealing universal features of how awareness operates within the sleeping brain. Technology development for lucid dream induction continues advancing. Beyond smartphone apps, researchers explore more sophisticated wearable devices that detect REM sleep through movement sensors and deliver precisely timed cues. Some experimental systems use EEG to identify REM directly, improving timing accuracy. Other approaches investigate gentle electrical stimulation, applying weak currents to enhance frontal activity during sleep. While promising, these technological methods raise questions about naturalness, long-term effects, and accessibility. The tools keep improving, potentially making lucid dreaming more accessible to people who struggle with purely behavioral techniques. The lived quality of lucid dreaming varies as much as the neuroscience is complex. Some describe transcendent experiences of freedom, joy, and wonder. Others report mundane awareness without particular emotion. Some find lucidity emotionally neutral, neither positive nor negative. A few experience discomfort with the realization that their entire perceived reality is self-generated. These diverse experiences remind us that consciousness is inherently subjective. While we can measure brain activity, the lived quality of awareness defies complete objective description. Each person's lucid dreams feel singular to them, shaped by personality, expectations, and individual neurobiology. The stability of lucid dreams remains an ongoing challenge even for experienced practitioners. Excitement upon recognizing your dreaming often triggers awakening. Overanalysis can destabilize the dream state. Trying too hard to control dream events sometimes causes the dream to collapse. Many lucid dreamers develop personal techniques for stabilization, rubbing dream hands together to maintain sensation, spinning in place to anchor awareness, looking at the ground to feel grounded in the dream environment. These practices have no clear neuroscientific explanation yet, but consistently help across many dreamers, suggesting they somehow help maintain the delicate balance of activation patterns that sustain lucid REM without triggering full awakening. Lucid dreaming has taught us that conscious awareness during sleep is not only possible, but potentially beneficial, representing a natural variation within human sleep rather than an abnormality or disorder. The brain possesses considerable flexibility in how it generates and regulates consciousness across different states. By studying lucid dreams, we've gained insights into how attention, memory, self-awareness, and metacognition operate at the neural level. We've discovered that sleep and wake aren't opposing states, but exist on a continuum with fluid boundaries. Most importantly, we've learned that with practice, intention, and understanding, many people can develop skills to navigate these boundaries, accessing forms of awareness that enrich both sleeping and waking life. Almost done. Relax even deeper. Did you know most matter, from a grain of sand to a star, is empty space? Atoms are mostly empty space between nucleus and electrons. Even your body is more space than matter. So let go. Let all pressure, all worry, dissolve like dust particles floating, drifting in the immense universe. We'll continue with the final facts. The question isn't really about sleep duration, but about relationship with rest. Lucid dreamers don't sleep longer because they need more recovery. They might sleep longer because they've learned to value the spaces where consciousness explores itself. They know that the final hours before waking contain the richest REM periods, the most vivid dreams, the highest potential for awareness to emerge. Rather than rushing into waking life, they honor sleep fully, allowing it to complete its natural cycles. There's something beautifully paradoxical about lucid dreaming, almost like a koan from Zen Buddhism. You use conscious effort to achieve a state where you recognize that reality is being spontaneously generated by your unconscious mind. You practice techniques to remember to question reality in a place where memory usually fails. You cultivate awareness in a state defined by its absence. These paradoxes point toward deeper truths about consciousness. That effort and effortlessness dance together. That awareness and unawareness aren't opposites, but partners. That the sleeping mind and waking mind are ultimately the same mind expressing itself through different modes. Perhaps lucid dreamers sleep longer simply because they enjoy sleep more. When dreams become playgrounds instead of random chaos. When nightmares can be transformed. When you can explore impossible worlds with full awareness. Sleep becomes appealing in new ways. Rather than viewing sleep as lost time or necessary unconsciousness, it becomes a parallel life, a nightly adventure, a laboratory for consciousness exploration. This reframing naturally leads to prioritizing adequate sleep, going to bed earlier, allowing yourself to wake naturally, creating conditions where sleep doesn't feel like an interruption of life but an enrichment of it. The research shows that sleep quality doesn't suffer from lucid dreaming. If anything, careful studies find slight improvements in feeling refreshed, at least when nightmares aren't involved. This liberates lucid dreamers from worry that their practice harms rest. They can pursue awareness during dreams without concern or anxiety about losing sleep quality. This peace of mind might itself contribute to better sleep. Worry about sleep quality often worsens sleep quality. Confidence that lucid dreaming is safe, even beneficial, removes one source of sleep anxiety, allowing rest to flow more naturally. Consider how lucid dreaming reframes the third of life we spend asleep. Instead of a blank period of unconsciousness, it becomes rich territory full of experiences, insights, and possibilities. The hours aren't lost, but transformed into a different kind of living. This perspective makes spending adequate time asleep feel less like sacrifice and more like wise investment. You're not giving up 8 hours of your day. You're gaining access to 8 hours of an alternate reality where different rules apply, where impossible things happen, where you can explore aspects of mind unavailable during waking hours. The neuroscience supports what practitioners have long known intuitively. Consciousness is more flexible, more mysterious, more multifaceted than our everyday experience suggests. You are not simply a body that either sleeps or wakes. You're a complex system capable of countless gradations of awareness, capable of being simultaneously asleep and awake, capable of observing your own mental creations with full knowledge of their origin. This revelation about the nature of mind carries implications far beyond sleep science, touching on philosophy, spirituality, psychology, and our basic understanding of what it means to be human. When you recognize you're dreaming, you're experiencing a moment of metacognition, thinking about thinking, being aware of being aware. This capacity represents one of consciousness's most sophisticated achievements. Most animals, as far as we know, cannot do this. Even most humans, most of the time, operate automatically, absorbed in experience, without observing themselves experiencing. Lucid dreaming cultivates this metacognitive skill during sleep, but the practice naturally extends into waking life. Lucid dreamers often report increased mindfulness, better self-awareness, more capacity to recognize when thoughts are just thoughts rather than reality. There's a gentle lesson in seeking control within dreams. The more you try to force dream events, the more unstable lucidity often becomes. The most experienced dreamers learn to guide rather than control, to suggest rather than command, to work with the dream's spontaneous creativity rather than against it. This lesson applies equally to waking life. Overly tight control creates rigidity and tension. Learning to balance intention with acceptance, effort with allowing, brings more peace, whether you're asleep or awake. Lucid dreams become practice grounds for this delicate dance. The brain regions activated during lucid dreams are the same regions that give you your sense of self during waking life. When these areas light up during REM sleep, they bring your waking self into the dream world. You remember who you are, where you are, what matters to you. This continuity of identity across states reveals something profound. The self isn't erased during sleep but continues, sometimes hidden, sometimes observing, always there as the fundamental organizing principle of your subjective experience. Why do lucid dreamers sleep longer? Maybe they don't always. Maybe the question contains an assumption that doesn't quite fit reality. Perhaps instead we should ask, why do lucid dreamers respect sleep's natural rhythms? Why do they create conditions that allow full REM cycles to develop? Why do they value the quality of consciousness during sleep alongside wakefulness? Every lucid dream is an experiment in consciousness. You're testing the boundaries of what's possible, exploring how far awareness can extend, discovering capacities you didn't know you had. Some experiments succeed spectacularly with stable, controlled, extended lucidity. Others end in awakening or loss of awareness. But even the attempts teach you about your mind's workings, about the conditions that sustain consciousness, about the fragility and resilience of awareness. Through these nightly experiments, you become a scientist of your own consciousness. The accessibility of lucid dreaming through apps, online communities, and research means more people can explore these states than ever before. What was once rare and mysterious, sometimes considered supernatural, now reveals itself as a natural human capacity that can be cultivated. This accessibility doesn't diminish the wonder. If anything, understanding the neuroscience deepens appreciation. The brain's ability to maintain muscle relaxation while reactivating metacognitive centers, to generate vivid experiences while sustaining logical thought, to balance sleep and wake simultaneously, is no less beautiful for being measurable. Your brain creates entire worlds while you sleep. During REM sleep, your mind constructs vivid experiences from memory fragments, emotions, and abstract patterns. Characters appear, conversations unfold, landscapes emerge. These dream worlds feel real in the moment, complete with sights, sounds, physical sensations, yet they dissolve upon waking. Like morning mist, the sleeping brain, creates, explores possibilities that waking life never offers. Lucid dreamers simply witness this creation consciously. The research continues evolving. New studies emerge constantly, refining understanding, challenging assumptions, opening new questions. What we know today about lucid dreaming will be expanded, corrected, deepened by tomorrow's research. This ongoing process of discovery means that engaging with lucid dreaming connects you to a living field of inquiry. You're not studying settled facts, but participating in an active exploration of consciousness happening worldwide, in sleep laboratories and bedrooms, through scientific measurement and personal experience, gradually illuminating the mysterious landscape of the sleeping mind. So, could lucid dreaming change how we understand sleep? It already has. Sleep is no longer viewed as simple unconsciousness, but as a complex state with many levels and variations. We now know awareness can persist, emerge, or develop during sleep. We've mapped the neural patterns of dream consciousness. We've shown that sleep and wake blend at their boundaries rather than switching absolutely. Lucid dreaming served as the key that unlocked these insights, proving that consciousness during sleep was not only real, but measurable, teachable, meaningful. When you achieve lucidity, you're experiencing a moment of freedom. In regular dreams, you're guided by the dream's logic, unable to recognize impossibilities, carried along by narrative you didn't choose. Lucidity breaks these constraints. You realize the world isn't real. The fears aren't dangerous. The limitations aren't binding. This freedom, even temporary, even within sleep, feels profound. Some describe it as the most intensely free experience available to human consciousness. You're completely safe, completely capable, limited only by imagination rather than physics. The relationship between sleep duration and lucid dreaming might flow in both directions. Not only might lucid dreamers sleep longer to accommodate extended REM periods, but sleeping longer might increase lucid dream frequency by providing more opportunities. Each additional REM cycle increases the chances that spontaneous lucidity might emerge or that practice techniques might succeed. This creates a natural cycle. Sleeping longer leads to more lucid dreams, which makes sleep more rewarding, which encourages sleeping longer. Lucid dreaming reveals something hopeful about human potential. We're not locked into a single mode of consciousness. With practice, intention, understanding, we can develop new capacities, access hidden aspects of mind, transform our relationship with sleep and dreams. If awareness can be cultivated in the challenging environment of REM sleep, what other capacities might be developable? What other hidden potentials wait to be discovered? Lucid dreaming becomes evidence for consciousness expansion, demonstrating that deliberate effort can unlock experiences and abilities that seemed impossible. The sense of wonder that accompanies lucid dreams never fully fades. Each time you recognize you're dreaming, there's that moment of quiet astonishment. This vivid reality is being generated by my own mind. The impossibility of dream physics, the vividness of dream imagery, the freedom of dream movement, all viewed with full awareness, never becomes completely routine. Wonder renews itself because each dream feels singular, each moment of lucidity slightly different, each recognition of the mind's creative power freshly beautiful. Perhaps one gentle lesson from lucid dreaming is that our experience of reality, whether asleep or awake, involves more construction than we usually notice. If your brain can generate an entirely convincing reality during dreams, complete with physical sensations, emotional responses, logical continuity, what does this suggest about waking experience? Not that waking is a dream, but that both waking and dreaming involve your brain constructing experiential worlds. Lucid dreaming makes this construction visible, revealing the active role your mind plays in creating every moment of experienced reality. The real change isn't in sleep, it's in you. Lucid dreamers don't have fundamentally different sleep patterns. They have fundamentally different relationships with their inner lives. They've learned to value, attend to, explore the spaces of consciousness that others might overlook. They've discovered that the boundary between sleep and wake is permeable, that awareness is more flexible than assumed, that the mind contains far more than daily consciousness reveals. This shift in understanding, relationship, practice is what distinguishes lucid dreamers. Why do lucid dreamers sleep longer? Because they've learned something precious. That sleep is not empty time but alive with possibility. That rest is not absence but presence in a different form. That the night offers gifts that rushing into day would miss. They sleep longer not because they must, but because they choose to. Because they've discovered value in the hours of darkness. Because they know that in the space between dusk and dawn, consciousness blooms in unexpected ways, teaching lessons available nowhere else. The science confirms what seems counterintuitive. More awareness during sleep doesn't harm rest. The brain maintains its essential functions. The body continues its repairs. Memories consolidate. Emotions integrate. All the vital processes continue, whether you're aware of dreaming or not. This separation between sleep's restorative work and the conscious experience of dreaming means you can be awake to your dreams without being awake from your sleep. Two different systems operating independently, allowing you to explore consciousness while rest proceeds undisturbed. Lucid dreaming simply extends a fundamental human capacity, the ability to be aware of being aware. Some people develop this meta-awareness further than others. Some apply it during sleep, while most experience it only while awake. But the potential exists in everyone. Your brain already has the necessary structures. The areas involved in self-awareness are there. The neural networks connect. You're already capable of lucid dreaming. You just might not have discovered how to access that capacity yet. The ultimate answer to why lucid dreamers sleep longer is simple. They've made peace with sleep. They don't fight it, fear it, or rush through it. Sleep has become a friend rather than an interruption, a teacher rather than an inconvenience. They sleep longer because they've learned to value the quiet hours, the dream spaces, the gentle rhythms of rest, and in sleeping fully, allowing consciousness to explore its own depths, they discover something that transcends both sleep and waking. The recognition that awareness continues through it all, unchanged, present, witnessing every moment. And so, our quiet journey through lucid dreaming science comes to a gentle close. We've traveled from the moment your brain first recognizes it's asleep to the neural pathways that create awareness during dreams, discovering along the way that consciousness is far more flexible than simple categories of wake and sleep suggest. From gamma bursts in regions of self-awareness to the peaceful realization that rest continues regardless of consciousness. We've glimpsed how the sleeping mind is both more mysterious and more accessible than we imagined. Lucid dreaming reminds us that consciousness exists on a spectrum, not an absolute. Much of sleep's magic happens in silence. In the dark hours when most minds rest unaware. In the private theater of REM sleep, it reveals patience, the willingness to let awareness emerge rather than forcing it, and interconnection between our sleeping and waking selves. Without sleep's natural rhythms, lucidity couldn't arise. By pausing to notice, we glimpse the extraordinary in the ordinary, that every night you already create entire worlds, and sometimes, beautifully, you remember you're doing it. In these final minutes, take the deepest breath you can, as deep as possible. Think about the unity of consciousness itself. Yours, mine, everyone listening, all awareness everywhere, perhaps all connected in ways we don't yet understand. You are not alone in the universe of minds. Let your entire being dissolve into the ocean of consciousness, into dreamless rest, into the space before thought. Prepare for deep sleep. No boundaries left, only peace. If this thoughtful exploration sparked curiosity or brought you peace, a gentle like and subscribe helps other sleepless souls discover this sanctuary, one sleepy soul at a time. It means the world to us, but there's no need to do anything now. Nothing at all. You've traveled far tonight, farther than most journeys take you. You can allow these thoughts of lucid dreaming to fade now, like dreams themselves upon waking, leaving only the peaceful calm behind. Let your breathing deepen. Let your body feel heavier, as if gravity itself is pulling you down into your bed, into the mattress, into rest. If sleep comes, let it carry you like a gentle current in a warm ocean, smoothly, inevitably, into a realm where time and weight no longer matter. If your eyes are still open, the next video is waiting for you, ready to continue the journey. But if they're closed, stay there. Stay in the darkness that feels safe and warm. Tomorrow, your dreams will still be there. Your brain will still create its nightly theater. But tonight belongs to stillness. Rest well, sleepy soul. And remember, awareness can exist in any state, even the deepest sleep. But tonight, let it dissolve into peace. Dream deeper with bedtime science. Relax, listen, and drift into sleep. Good night.